morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am here in New Zealand and it's already on Wednesday, November the 13th. So my beautiful ones, I'm in most of your futures already. And today, your future or my future, it's going to rain, but it's still an amazing day. And like I said to my grandson today, it depends on your attitude. How amazing day are you going to have? And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, Mom, we talked about attitudes yesterday." So I said, "Yes, we talked about attitudes yesterday." I said, "And guess what? Remember what Oma told you? Omi told you you are able to change your attitude. You are able to make yourself, if you are cross with the teacher, you can tell yourself, the teacher had a reason and it's okay. I'm okay." He said, "Yes, Oma, I actually did it yesterday." I said, "Beautiful." Because remember my grandson, today we're going to talk about self-talk. So actually what you have done to yourself, you have talked to yourself in a kind and beautiful way that your body and your heart and everything understand, and it makes you happier. And he said, "Oh, Oma." And he laughed. Omi is so clever. We talk in Afrikaans. So the Afrikaans, he said to me, "Omi, jy's so slim. I'm so clever. I've got amazing guests." Oh, I cannot wait for you to meet my amazing guest. And our title for this show is Rise with Confidence. How can you rise with confidence? How can you set yourself up to be confident, to be what you are born to be? I love that. So my guest is going to be here in studio. I want to play my beautiful sponsor, Jose Escobar. And if there's any one or two persons or companies that would love to sponsor the Power Hour TV show, please let me know, because this is one show that I try to give to all my Tanzanite heroes and diamond beauties for free. There's a lot of people that has beautiful stories but don't have the finances to come. So if I can have the ability to have one or two more sponsors, then all the worries will be off my shoulders for this Power Hour. So my beautiful Jose, thank you so much for being my sponsor.
Is Jose Escobar. I live in Washington, D.C. area. I'm a family man. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, author, and speaker. I have communities. I support people. I'm a servant leader, and the list goes on. And I'm primarily the CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. That's my bread and butter. That's my core offer, right? That's where I put most of my time and energy. And the Connected Leaders Academy is a growing community. It's a tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. We're now over 350 plus members, 42 states across the US, and 17 international countries. If you're an entrepreneur out there that's looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more money, more clients, right? This is the community for you.
My sound and the video is not doing the same, but it's all good. It's all good. You got beautiful Jose. You are also in our beautiful CLA group. So you do know beautiful Jose that have taken me in his heart and helped me to sponsor, because he just loved what I was doing. So my beautiful Lori Kay, I am so excited that you are here, my beautiful one. Please introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and tell us what self-love, sorry, I'm so sorry, apologize, self-talk means for you.
Okay. So I am from Gilbert, Arizona, and I am a life coach and light worker, and work with the energetic body as well as physical body, the mental, brain, and the subconscious. And I self-talk, oh goodness, it can be brutal. And self-compassion is key. And I would love to share something, a practice later on if there's time.
It's going to be lovely. So thank you so much. I wanted to talk to Julie to tell her I'm going to bring her in after you have introduced yourself, but you are now completed. So let me just quickly bring in Julie. Just give me 1 second. There you are. Hello, my beautiful Julie. So my beautiful Julie and myself are in your future. See, she's in Australia, Melbourne, and I am New Zealand, Auckland. So my beautiful tiger, can you introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you, Sanet. I'm Jean-François Moreau, or JS Tiger. I'm from Canada. I live in Ottawa, the capital. It's getting colder, but it's not too cold yet, so it's good. I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm also a hypnosis practitioner. I also design courses to help people have more authenticity and joy in their life. What about self-talk? Wow, I think this is probably one of my favorite subjects, because whether we're aware, like conscious, or unaware, unconscious, we do all self-talk. We always do it. And if we do it a way that's useful for us, it can have huge benefits, right? But then the same way, if we do it in a way that is deprecating, it can be very devastating over time. And it just takes a little bit of cautious thought at first to set our intention to get with useful talk. And self-talk is so important, and I'm so glad that we're gonna discuss it today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my beautiful tiger. I love that. My beautiful Sultan. And I actually asked Sultan to pronounce his name and surname. I told him, I think everybody's going to be scared to pronounce his surname because a lot of people is scared to pronounce my surname. Can you please pronounce it and tell us where you're from and tell us what self-talk means for you?
Yes. So thank you so much for having me on your show. So my name is a Hungarian name. It's Zoltán Szentkirály, and it's kind of like Saint King. It helps you think about the word. So Zoltán is pretty much what I go by. And I'm in Dallas, Texas. I grew up in Ohio. My family is Hungarian, so I kind of have a broad background. And I'm a musician. My dad was a composer, but I'm also a statistician. So I studied statistics. I teach. I'm a professor at the university at SMU. But my passion is really in relating with people, and in particular relationships. And of course, self-talk is a very important part of that. But primarily my focus is right now, after some trauma in a marriage relationship, is being an advocate and a coach for men who've experienced or are experiencing relationship trauma that can be actually really devastating legally or any number of ways. So just bringing light and hope and strategies to make clearer understanding, not just for the men, but for all of society about the issue of marriage relationships and that interchange between men and women that can go wrong sometimes. So self-talk is really important because we tend to project that onto someone we love. And if we realize how valuable we are, and some people may not think about God, but for me, I think about God loves each and every person so much. He made us uniquely. We have a great destiny that he made for us. And we can read that he has that love. And so if we take that on and we speak that over ourselves, we can speak it over other people. And it's a habit. And that way there's much more love and much more acceptance, and we can see the value in each other. It's just so important.
That's so incredible. Thank you, my beautiful Sultan. So I'm quickly going to introduce myself because some people say, but Sanet, what are you doing? So I just want to tell the audience, please click down below in the show notes. All my guests, elevator pitch is in with one connection point, and please connect with us. All of us are amazing, and we are in our purpose, and we are shining our light. So I am Sanet Van Breda. I am from South Africa, but currently in New Zealand. I am a voice amplifier, creating space for millions of people around the world to come and tell their story and give us their wisdom and brilliance. So I am truly excited to have you part of my mission to make the world a better place, my beautiful guest. So my beautiful Lori Kay, if I can ask you, self-talk. When did you decide, or what was the time that you decided that you have to be your best friend? Because self-talk is being your best friend, actually.
Yeah, back in 2002, when I was trying to get heavy metals out of my system and other problematic things out of me physically that can make the self-talk be much worse because of the chemical toxicity, I put a note on my mirror because I told my yoga teacher, I'm like, I'm just having such a hard time. I'm just mean, so mean. And she's like, you be nice to my friend. And so I took that phrase, you be nice to my friend, and put it on my mirror. And it's still there after all these years because I still, when I eat things that are chemically based, my body doesn't detoxify, and it makes a heaviness that makes the self-talk just not kind. And so I have to be reminded, be nice. I need to be my own friend. Be nice to this person. Like I would never talk to anyone the way this can go on inside of my own head. The judgment and the meanness, not nice.
You gave me goosebumps. Thank you. So you were talking about your toxicity, but you also came to one of the shows that we talked about chronic illness. It was a very impactful show. It was truly one of the shows that is watched the most. So can you tell us a little bit about your story, my beautiful one?
Oh, you want me to take more time for my story? I want to make sure we have time for Zoltan's story.
No, everybody will have enough. Okay, perfect. But you can decide if you want to tell us in the next.
Oh, I do. I definitely do. But I just want to make sure Zoltan has enough time.
Oh, thank you.
And then my beautiful tiger, on your side, when did you decide that you're going to be your best friend?
Wow, that's a great question. I think what comes to mind for me is it's a continuous effort.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not even sure if I touched that subject when I came the first time, but I think that sometimes we think that we come to a conclusion and then that's it, right? Oh, I've grown, I'm done. I'm sorry to burst out your bubble, but it's not true, right? And I'm just going to give you an example, because I think for me, this negative self-talk doesn't come that often, and I'm not special. It just shows in different ways. So for me, it's rare that I'm going to say, oh, my handicap is so bad. I'm so why am I disabled? Or, I cannot do this. People won't love me, and so on and so forth. But let's say I'm trying to tie my shoes or cook dinner. And I don't know why, but that day it's a little bit harder, right? And maybe I'm more tired, preoccupied, whatever the reason, it happens. And then my head takes over and says, you should be able to do this, right? Why is it so hard? And even though for me, sometimes the self-talk, I don't identify it as such. It is. So sometimes self-talk can disguise itself. And it's kind of it's sneaky in the way it enters. And I think that if we have some practices like meditation, maybe self-hypnosis, and sports, right? Movement, somatic techniques. Then when those things happen, when your little brain says, you're such and such, hopefully we prepared enough to say, wait a minute, no. And I love what you said, Laurie Kay. Be nice to my friend. One of my friends tells me that sometimes. And I love this saying because it's true, right? We need to be nice to ourselves and offer a safe space for our own body, our own mind, and our own soul.
I love that. Thank you, my beautiful Tiger. My beautiful Sultan. I know that Lorika alluded to me that you are going to have your son, have to come and collect your son. So please, can you give us your golden nugget? I need to use the paparazzi, but I also would love to bring in Julie. I know her internet connection is not good. So please give us your golden nugget.
Oh, my golden nugget. I love this so much. You can do anything if you believe in yourself. God loves you. He loves how he made you and with all your flaws, just how you are. And he has a special destiny for you. And we can let go of some of that fear. You can do it.
Are you ready for paparazzi? So, my beautiful Sultan, I know you want to go. So, please, if you can just, I know you said 5 minutes. So, please tell us a little bit about your story and how are you going to serve the world. And self-talk is an integral part of what you're going to do.
Yes, absolutely. I was thinking as I was listening to Lori Kay and Tiger about self-talk, and I love, Tiger, that you said that it's sneaky. It gets in ways you didn't even think it's self-talk. And what happens a lot of time is we have pressures. Oh, my boss needs this. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, I overslept. Oh, all these things, right? Because we're human and we make mistakes. And I remember that critical moment where I'll be honest, I missed an important meeting with my boss. I was so upset. And all of a sudden I remembered, no, everything's okay. And it's fear, right? We get this fear and all of a sudden there's desperation. And so it's really the central thing about everything that my passion to help relationships, to help especially men, because I understand, very much men's side of being in a difficult or traumatic marriage. But fear can really make us do things we wouldn't want to do. We could get desperate or start thinking negative things, not only about ourselves and, beating ourselves up or how we messed up, but then also thinking about other people, like how they messed up. And so that fear, I just know that we're not supposed to live with so much fear and worry. And it's difficult to let that go. We're in a performance-based society, but really we do so much better when we just do our best and take a deep breath and think positively, believe the good things can happen, and just keep moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Sultan. And because my beautiful guest, I was mistakenly with the moving of the hour of daytime saving. I want to please tell you, all of you can have an amazing half-page advertisement in our Diamond Moment magazine for this month because we can have December and January. So you just want to say I'm truly sorry and you are welcome to I will put you in the group so that we can make sure that you have your half page advertisement for the magazine from me to you to say thank you for being a guest. So, my beautiful Sultan, how many minutes do you have left?
Oh, a couple, two or three.
Okay, so what can you bestow? What can you wisdom can you bestow on the audience?
um, so, as an advocate for and a coach for men, um, I men need women, right? We need each other, and there are difficult things and horrible things that people do, but there's so many good things about a man that we can offer to ladies, and there's so many beautiful things about ladies that we love. We really have a heart to have long term relationships and be committed. And there's a lot of noise in the world about what to do and how to be and how to dress and what to buy and get rid of this guy, or whatever. There's just a lot of noise, right? But um, really the heart of it is that if everybody has good in their heart, and a lot of times that gets thrown out and things get really messy. And so that's my cry and my plea in advocating for men, and then for women, but especially in marriage relationships. I think many men are trying really hard, and they really want to be loved and they really want to love. And so just as a thought to just think of that, because there are many bad things we can think about, but just remember the good things that we bring to each other as men and women.
I love that. And please connect with Tiger, and any post that you're going to do round about love and what men wants and what women want, please post it in the Tanzania Euros, because men are there waiting to speak to men about men stuff. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sultan, for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you
You
so
are
much.
anytime welcome to leave. So I'm going to go over to Julie. Julie, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and what does self-talk means for you.
Okay, hello. First, I'm sorry that I've had so much trouble connecting, but we're here now, which is great. It's lovely to meet you all. My name is Julie Fisher, and I'm from Melbourne in Australia. Um, I'm an author and a speaker in the disability sector. My youngest son has Down syndrome, and my big message is about how important and simple it is to be inclusive and accepting of others, especially out in the community every single day. I think self-talk, it's very important, and I think we do have to really concentrate sometimes, because human nature lets imposter syndrome come in all of the time and makes us feel like what we're doing maybe isn't good enough, or whatever it is, whether you're just being a mum, like even being a mum, there's times over the last 27 years since I first became a mum that I think, oh, I'm not doing it right. What if this, what if that? So I think it's important to know that we're doing our best and we're learning each day as we travel along in this world. And you just got to stop and reflect and have that time for yourself. I think self-care has a lot to do with the self-talk as well. I think if we stop and care for ourselves, we're going to be kinder to ourselves as well. So that, for me, that's what it is. And sometimes I just have to talk to a girlfriend, just to lift myself back up again, or even my husband, just to lift myself back up again. So, have those conversations. Don't keep everything inside. Don't keep it locked in. I think that's a big thing for me.
Wow. Thank you. So, Sultan, you are welcome to say goodbye to the audience.
Bye. Thank you all so much. It's so wonderful to be with you. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So my beautiful Judy, my grandson Zaner have done a beautiful book cover on imposter syndrome, and I wanted to see if I can quickly look for it, because I think it's on that table. I would love to share it with you as well. So I'm gonna go to our beautiful Lorica. Thank you for reminding me about Sultan. I'm so sorry. It would have been so bad if I let him go without speaking. You are truly Amazing, amazing. So my beautiful Lorica, I'm going to quickly look for that post, that book
Now I
post.
can talk about some things. You know, what Julie said made me think about spiritual bypassing and not being real with where we are at. And the thing is we can do tools to get our mind onto something different. And it could be something physical, like I've done a snap, like stop, something new, you know, choose something new. This morning I was choosing a more compassionate way. And I was having a hard time getting out of bed. And I put a hand on my heart and one on my solar plexus. And I said, I'm so sorry, you. And I had written out some of the things. I'm so sorry you're feeling despair. I'm so sorry you can't get out of bed. I'm so sorry you are in pain. I was being real with where I was at. I wrote down my other things. I'm so sorry. Even though you're feeling compassion, you feel pathetic. I was being compassionate, but I felt completely pathetic. And I was being honest with where I was at. And feeling this here was giving a feedback loop to my nervous system that I am safe to feel my feelings. And then I can change it into something more positive. What I've learned is when I do something physical, whether it's just tapping my body, I've learned Qigong, and they have you do a lot of body tapping, or EFT, emotional freedom technique. They have you tapping meridian endpoints and talking about what you're feeling, and it helps happy hormones flow. And the more you do that, and if you can combine it with breath work, I have another technique where you are doing tapping the governing meridian backwards while breathing. It will get your mindset into a new way, and you can be in a place of choice and not the reaction way. We have these little pathways we're used to going down. Our thoughts are used to going down a certain way. And these methods are a way to branch off into a new path. And eventually that new path is strengthened. And then for my situation, I seem to struggle a lot because my body doesn't detoxify. And the extra chemicals that I'm trying to get out seem to make it harder to think positive. But I choose into rising into something new. Last night, I went and got out of the house, even though I didn't feel like it. But I'm choosing this to change my environment, change my thought pattern. I choose this. And I had a beautiful time. And being in a place of choice is what I help my clients do. And I have a little membership program that I help people get all these different tools and be able to come from a place of choice and be blessed. And it's incredibly affordable. So you can reach out to me and I can tell you about that at another time.
It sounds great.
Incredible. I could not find the cover. I think he took it to school because I told him this was extraordinary. And I was looking now for it, but I think he took it to school. I was standing here and I had to come on screen because when you do the back one, I tried the back one. It was like a shock actually because you're not used to that.
You don't used to it, and it gets you to your prefrontal cortex. It gets you out of your habitual primitive brain, and you can choose new thoughts. You can choose new behaviors. I've actually helped men with pornography getting over that with this. And is that my ideal client? No, but I can help rewire people's brains so that they can be in a place of choice and not reaction.
I love it.
But, yeah.
Thank you, my beautiful Lorica. Thank you for taking the screen and making it beautiful because I thought, let me look for the book. So, my beautiful Tiger, what tips or techniques, or before we go there, what can you tell us your story, my beautiful one?
So I think I'm going to tie this question with the last one, okay? Because I know the last one, I didn't directly answer. So let me phrase it this way. I feel often that if I don't choose to have positive self-talk for myself, I would not survive. So let me explain a little bit. And by no means I'm saying that my condition is the worst, because it's not, okay? Like, I learned to live with my disability. I have a really good life. But sometimes it's easy to get discouraged or to get saddened by the fact that I'm not like everyone else. And I feel like if I internally self-talk myself into a lot of self-judgment, a lot of deprecated, like, talk, like, you're not a dancer, you're not this, you're not that, or you're not as good as this one, right? Comparison could come in as well. I don't have a choice in it, because if I do this, there would be so much stuff I can pick on and be like, hey, I cannot do this. Hey, I don't look great doing this, right? But instead of doing that, I do try to just do it, right? Just do what makes me joyful. And I'm going to give you an example. Last year, I started doing ecstatic dance. And I don't know if you heard about this, maybe not. But to me, the best way I describe it is doing yoga, but with dance. So it's a practice that's very free-flowing. There's no movement and no judgment, right? People can go, they can dance, they can lay down, they can tremble, they can do whatever they want, as long as they respect their own space and other people's space. And the example I'm giving is that when I went to the first dance, I had a bit of a panic in the car. Like, I was Ubering there or taxi, and I was like, oh, what if I'm too old, right? Because I didn't know, I never went. And then I was like, hey, no, JF, just try it once, if you like it. I went, I love it, I do it every time I can. But the point is, I don't dance like, I don't like saying that, but like normal people would dance, or a good dancer. But to me, it's about what it gives me. So instead of focusing on the self-talk that's negative, I try to go back into my body and how I feel. And I guess that ties it to your question, right? What would be one of the techniques? It would be to go back to the body and see how I feel with it, right? And it doesn't mean it has to be a positive feeling. It can be also negative sometimes. But take the time to feel it, identify it, speak the word, I feel sad. And I think, just not to take too much more time, but just one more thing here. I think that I recently discovered that in some situation, there was sadness that came to me. And I always wondered why. And the situation was when people would give me compassion and help, especially around my disability. And I was wondering why. And I tried to interrogate what's happening. And with a bit of, time to meditate on it, I'm sad because I need help because I'm disabled. And that makes me sad sometimes. But I just want to say it's okay. It's better for me to know and acknowledge it and process that feeling. And I love saying that with emotion, when there's emotion, there's power. And if I use to process that emotion properly, then I can use that as a power to move forward.
Wow. My beautiful Lorica and Julie, isn't Tiger just phenomenon? When we had our dance on Eye of a Tiger, we were dancing like there's no tomorrow. Most men, when I'm asking them to have a dance with me in the coffee chats, they looked at me, are you crazy woman? I don't even dance in real life now. You're asking me to dance on Zoom. And I just said, trust me. I didn't say this to Tiger. He said, yes, let us go. And we had, because Eye of a Tiger is one of the songs I play when I'm on stage. And we just had an amazing time. And my beautiful Tiger, I don't see your disability. I see you as an incredible human. Thank you for inspiring me. And I know you have inspired the two amazing ladies and the viewers out there as well. Thank you. My beautiful Julie, tell us a little bit about your story. We had an incredible coffee chat, so I would love you to share your story.
We sure did. It was wonderful. And Tiger, yeah, I totally agree. I think if we do more of what makes us feel good, it's going to lift us up every single day of the week. And you know what? Every single one of us on the planet is different. We all do things differently. We all need support at times as well. This is what I've learnt with my son Darcy as well, which will take me into who I am and what I do. So I am a mum of 3 boys, and my youngest son Darcy lives with Down syndrome. In 2019, I realised the dream of becoming an author, and I shared our journey with Darcy from prenatal diagnosis to the age of 13. And 5 years on, I've now published 4 books, and they're all about, sharing our journey, which I think gives other families support. It gives the wider public a glimpse into our world so that they can start to learn a little bit about disability and about what it looks like for us, at least. And inclusion and acceptance is huge for me, because I realised when Darcy was born that people look at each other, but when they looked at him, I perceived it to be negative, and I used to react to that because he has a visible disability, and I'd never noticed people looking at me ever before when I was in the street by myself. So I started to react, and then as he grew older, he was feeling that reaction, and it was very negative. It wasn't nice at all. So I decided I needed to change something, and I didn't know what, but I thought, well, next time we go out in the street, maybe I'll smile at the next person that's looking at Darcy and see what happens. And so I did that, and, remarkably, they smiled back at me. And over the time, I kept doing that, and over the time, I found that, generally 9 out of 10 will smile back, and 1 in that 10 will bow their heads down and walk the other way. So, by me making them aware that I know what they're doing, they're looking at him in judgment, I think hopefully that will change what they do next time. Maybe they'll smile next time as well. So I also speak on stages. I love doing it. I love sharing our story and just creating that positive change for people like Darcy. I have a radio show as well, so I'm quite entrenched in the disability sector here in Australia. I interview service and support providers, as well as people who live with a disability and their families. So I think it's really important to share our stories. It gives others confidence to do the same. It creates connections, it creates support, understanding. It gets rid of those myths that everybody thinks about certain things because we tell them the truth. What I also love is sharing what a remarkable young man Darcy is and the things that he teaches us. He needs a lot of support with certain things, but my goodness, is he one of the best teachers on the planet or what? He's taught me so much. Like, it's okay if it doesn't work the first time. So what? We'll try it again another time when you're more confident, and eventually it will work. He's taught me, I always thought I was pretty good at problem solving and thinking outside the box, but he's taught me to dive even deeper, and that, just by implementing little different things, anyone can achieve whatever they want to. What else? Unconditional like acceptance of others. He's taught me that on such a large scale. It's so beautiful. And the other thing is that if he doesn't particularly like someone, he doesn't point at them or make snide comments or anything like that. He just leaves them alone. So, you know, and that's a big message that I give to people, because I think, you know, don't be unkind. You know, it's not hard to be kind. We're all different. If you don't like us, that's okay. Just leave us alone. So, and actually today, 13th, it's the 13th of November here, it's International Kindness Day. So, you know, it really is in line with what my message, you know, because if you can be anything, just be kind. It's very easy. And, you know, I think that helps lift people up too. If you're feeling good, I think the self-talk is good too. If you're feeling a bit low, then the self-talk's probably not so good. So do the things you love, surround yourself with the people who lift you up. And I think that really helps with everything with our mindset. And Laurie Kay, the tapping is incredible. I did my certificate for in disability a couple of years ago, and I did my placement at my son's school. And quite often the kids there, you know, they would come in, they would just right white, mellow yellow, or I think the other one was red something. And so, you know, the teachers would ask the class, you know, how they were feeling, and then they'd do some tapping to make them all feel just right white. And it was just incredible how it worked, you know, even with these small children. And I thought, I love this. So I do it myself now too. And sometimes I just go for a little walk out in nature. I think that always makes us feel good too.
Amazing. My beautiful Julie, will you tell Darcy this is for him? Because
Yes.
he is a star in your eyes and so many, and he's an amazing teacher. I was trying to have, and then I thought, take off the flowers and put the glasses, because tell him he is a star.
I will.
Thank you for sharing, my beautiful Julie.
Thank you.
So, my beautiful Laurie Kay, you have given us some tips on how the tapping. Is there anything that you would love to tell the viewers in about 2 minutes on about with regarding self talk?
Sometimes with our self-talk, it's like a coach inside of here, and it's not the nice kind of coach.
No.
And this coach inside of here that's so negative, it's saying that this is the way reality is and only this way. And that's not the truth. And yes, I was feeling in despair this morning. And yes, I was feeling pathetic. I'm human. We are human beings, and we get to experience these different emotional vibrations, experience it for a moment, and then you can choose into something else. And sometimes I don't want to use my techniques. I want to wallow in what I am, and then I need to hopefully choose to still be in compassion. With having chronic fatigue, you know, putting my hand on my heart and on my solar plexus and just like, I'm so sorry you feel like you cannot move. I'm so sorry you feel pathetic right now. And in time, that will get me so I can do my breath work, which will get me so I can do my tapping. And the tapping literally is creating happy hormones. The hormones start to flow, and then it's easier to be in the point of choice. And so my what I want to leave with you is to have compassion. Be real with where you're at for a moment, even longer if you need, and reach out to others to help you lift up and get to a new place if you need. But breath work, sunshine, a little bit of movement often is very, very helpful.
I love it.
Sending love to you.
Thank you, my beautiful one. What is your golden nugget?
Compassion is key.
Are you ready?
Self-compassion is key.
Thank you. Are you ready for paparazzi? Wow, thank you. My beautiful tiger, can you tell us in 2 minutes?
Yes, okay. So I'm gonna ask you all a question. When is the last time you thanked someone? Like thank you for coffee or something? Probably not that long ago, right? So maybe yesterday or today? Okay, cool. So when is the last time you thanked yourself?
This morning. I
Good
told myself,
job,
good
Lord K.
girl. I'm like, I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. Good job. You just drank some water.
That is amazing. But this is something that we usually don't do, right? And I think a lot of the thing we can do are habits. There's ways to practice habits, make them regular. That's easier, like hypnosis or even tapping with the EFT. But if you practice it at least, it's gonna stick. And if we can thank ourselves every day for, it could be mundane stuff, right? Thank you for taking a shower, because sometimes that's hard for people. Thank you for not going to bed too late last night so I can feel better this morning, right? I think that's a good habit to have, right? Thanking ourselves. And it goes with what you were saying, Lori K, about compassion. And I think that thanking ourselves consciously can and will probably lead to most people to have more self-compassion. So yeah, I'd say that's one of the tricks we can easily.
Thank you. My beautiful tiger, what is your golden nugget?
My golden nugget is, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's emotion, there's power.
I love it. Are you ready for paparazzi? Wow, thank you. Thank you. Powerful. Julie, 2 minutes for you.
Yes, thank you. I think we've all just got to be kind to ourselves and understand that we all do go through that enormous wave of emotions, and that's okay. Sometimes we do, as Laurie Kay, sometimes we do have to, I always call it rocking in a corner. And sometimes we do just have to be quiet and, acknowledge those feelings. Sometimes those feelings come in because we're tired as well. We just need that rest and we need a break. But as I said before, surround yourself with those people that lift you up and be kind to yourself. Understand the emotions that you're going through, and it's okay. We all go through it. Sometimes I think we think we're the only one on the planet that's actually going through those emotions. And that's why, again, sharing our stories and our techniques and strategies of how we get through things is so important. Because we do all go through those emotions. We always go through things. We don't feel like we're good enough. Sometimes we've done the wrong thing. We could have done it better. But I think if you reverse that, we'll do it different next time. Or, just change that language as well. I think that helps to keep positive as well.
Wow, beautiful. And my beautiful Julie, what is your golden nugget?
If you can be anything, be kind.
I love it. Yeah, you go, my beautiful one. So, my beautiful Lori Kay asked me, what is your golden nugget, Sandy?
What is your golden nugget, Sanet?
Thank you for asking, my beautiful Lori Kay. My golden nugget is, if your why is big enough, you can do anything. You can do everything. I lost 165 pounds. I picked up the first month and a half I was here, 2 pounds. And I had to make sure I have dropped one, so I have to make sure I dropped another one, because there was children and ice cream and lots of things I had done with the children. But it's all good. My self-talk said to myself, Sanet, it's all good, because it's moments and experience that we will keep the memory. So now during the week, I am making sure I'm very strict. And over weekend, there's ice cream or whatever treat there is, it's going to be for Omi as well, because Omi have to taste everything. So even self-talk to me, because I need to make sure that I still keep on my plan, but there's some change in it, and I'm not too hard on myself. So I'm going to press the paparazzi. I forgot. My beautiful Lorica, you were one of my sponsors in the previous show. I did mention, do you want me to play your video again so that people can find out about your membership?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I just went and fetched it because we do have one minute left. Here we go.
Would you like your life to have more ease and flow? Hi, I'm Lori Kay. In the past, I have had chronic illness, and now I help dissolve the trauma held in the nervous system and change ancestral baggage and subconscious programs, helping people have more energy, clarity, calmness, and joy. I have free gifts for you. Chapters from my best-selling books, a masterclass that teaches how to turn on the success switch in the brain and body, and a healing session to help the nervous system. You'll find the link below. Also, I have a success membership. It's $35 a month, and it's in beta. I will always honor that price point for you.
I do see the sound of your video that I just pulled in is the same. So I think there's a lack on Wave. So my beautiful Lorica, thank you so much for giving the viewers out there the ability to connect with you and join your membership as well. So my beautiful viewers, I hope that you had an amazing time. And I know there was just the right voice that you have triggered something in yourself to relook at your life and to be your own best friend. So I'm truly excited. But first, before I'm going to ask you to dance with me, I need to ask my guest first. My beautiful Lori Kay, Tiger, and Julie, will you have a dance with me?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
My beautiful viewers on E360, will you have a dance with us? They said yes, they said yes. And I'm not ready to cue the music, but now I'm ready. Here we go. Oh, Tiger Julie. I love it.
Walking on sunshine.
I see you there, my
Dancing in
beautiful
the
viewers. I
rain.
see you.
Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust
I see you. I love
and
that.
cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles, oh, there